Gia, it's me, Natalie. Today is Saturday, September 22nd, 2025, and it's been a while since I've heard from you. And there was a while, many years going on, where I was hearing from you many a while. These are things in life that I've come to understand I don't mingle with. I let it all aspire as it is because I do believe that heaven is in charge of all. It is we in life who choose to follow such leads and seek such signs and so forth, who are able to truly appreciate the stages and phases of life that we all must go through, even when we don't understand what somebody else is going through in their own phase. I'm going to go ahead and try to jump into this as smoothly as I can. I've got Andy with me right now. He just bit my finger. He's ready for mating season here. Gia, today's Saturday. This morning I woke up at 4:45 a.m. with this guy right here, cock-a-doodle-doing, and my husband can't stand when he begins to cock-a-doodle-do, which I can understand because it's 28 times in 3 minutes. So I brought Andy outside to coop number 4, put him up. I went back inside. I laid back down in bed, and boom, right about the 5 a.m. hour, Courtney began to come through. Some people refer to it saying, in my dreams, and yet I wasn't dreaming. And yet I wasn't awake laying in bed with my eyes open either. I was eyes closed, and I wasn't fluttering eyes thinking, trying to go to sleep. It was somewhere between a sleep state, a dream state. And yet it was beautiful. Courtney just fluttered everything right into my sleep. And what she presented with at first was giving me a vision. And you remember, visions are not from my real eyes. This is from my inner eye, my soul eye, whatever you want to call it. She gave me a vision of being on a boat, you and Courtney, Ma, and daughter, on a boat. I didn't even need to see the boat. Was it a small boat, a little boat, an engineless boat, a yacht, a cruise ship? It didn't matter. That wasn't what the vision was about. The vision needed me to see, Courtney needed me to see, on a boat in the open sea waters. And immediately at that point, when I was able to understand she didn't need me to focus on the boat, I then looked down to the water in this vision. And Courtney at that point took her hand over the edge of the boat and put her fingers into the water. And the thing that I noticed in the vision was that there was no sound. There was no sound at all. It was complete silence. There wasn't any even peaceful trickling of water sounds when Courtney put, in this vision, her fingers into the water. The sun then began to rise beyond the ocean waters, which were all oceans surrounding in this vision. It was really quite beautiful. She then had me focus in. There was a flag, a little flag, just a short flag, maybe this tall. And then the flag itself was maybe, 8 by 10, 10 by 12, something like that. It was all white, the flag, all white. And it had on there this is bizarre. I don't even know how to color it. The Canadian red maple leaf. A white flag with a red Canadian maple leaf. Okay? I said, okay, that's interesting. And then boom, it went quickly to, I don't even know what our flags look like, Gia. I'm sorry, I did fail geography, the only course. Geography? I don't know, history? I wasn't into those classes. And yet she immediately definitely went to showing me a vision of other worldly flags, Britain and England and Scotland in particular. And then it ended with, boom, she zoomed back into another white flag. Okay, there's another white flag. And on it was white flag, red cross. Okay, we know about the American Red Cross Association. We know that that's a symbolic, very big symbol people know about, this rescue, help, we're here to help, the American Red Cross. And yet, that's not what Courtney was wanting me to associate this Red Cross with, not the American Red Cross. She was wanting me to associate the Red Cross with this Canadian maple, with the flags of Britain and Scotland and everything else, with these open sea waters and no sound, and the sun rising, to a ultimate moment of all-encompassing peace. World peace. You, on a boat with your daughter in the open seas, feeling calm. Calm waters, calm soul. June, get out of there! Look, June, she's out of control. Gia, I mean, I'm just gonna let her. She can. These sheep. By the way, Courtney is here with me right now at this hour. It is about 11 a.m. on Saturday, November the 22nd, and Courtney knows that I was doing my work this morning, and she was waiting ever so patiently, because that's what angels are, is patient, persistent, and patient. Backing up, there was also a point, and this is bizarre for me because I have shared this with you. You know, I've been speaking to your daughter, Courtney, who is an angel in heaven, for many years now. It is not often, and you have even asked me before in the past, do you hear any names, Nat? Can you tell me names? Could you ask Courtney about names, you know? Natalie, I don't have much receiving of actual names, and so this was bizarre. While I lay in this dream state at 5 a.m. this morning, we did grow up in the same town. I do know, you know who certain people are. I don't know your connection to everybody or anybody for that matter. And yet the name, and I know this person, Brian Weingard, came up. I do know he's a police officer. I don't know if that has anything to do with Courtney, given the circumstances of how Courtney's life was taken by a police officer. Courtney and her baby. Brian Weingard, I don't know. She's coming through right now. Okay, I have nice orchestra music on in the background right now. I've been listening tearfully to this song called Voila by, I think her name is Emma Koch, K-O-K. It's just, she's playing with the symphony, this young girl who has a stomach disorder. She's dying and yet has the most beautiful voice. I'm listening to this kind of music. It's Andrea Bocelli in the background, and yet Courtney is now having me hear right now, not through my ears. I don't hear through my ears. I hear this music on my Alexa behind me. She's having me hear the song by Dolly Parton. Hold on. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one another to a love. See, the word see is in this song, yes? June! She's terrible. I have to let her be, my sheep. Courtney, why is she bringing up that song Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream? She is here to... She's bringing in Jesus again. She's bringing in Jesus, or rather Jesus is coming in, and we already know, I've shared this with you, it's amazing to me. Out of all the angels I, Natalie, speak to throughout my whole life, I continue to, with each angel I speak to, learn further and further how every angel does promote God and Jesus, as well as angels. And Courtney is a big believer in Jesus. She loves Jesus, and she's got great missions as an angel. She says no danger. There's no danger with any of this. The Red Cross, the open seas, the no sound and the silence, these are all meant to bring you peace and to remind you that Jesus does carry us, push us, pull us through all waters of life, metaphorically speaking, of every day. No danger, no danger, and you do not sail alone. Okay, now she's switching to another song right now. You know, this is free. This is like my version of live right here. I don't come scripted, you know that. These are just the notes that I had from last night from my dreamlike state. You know, I love this. This is what I love about angels, because I, Natalie, am unscripted in my own being. And so I love that I have my now hindsight of looking back on all my life of talking to angels and seeing how angels are the ones. Heaven is the one, the entity that has helped promote and further my life abilities of being, becoming, continuing to become a beautiful messenger. I love this, the unscriptedness of it all. She's now having me hear the song by AC/DC, Back in Black. I don't even know the words to that song, but that's one of my favorite songs. Look, it's Andy, Back in Black Andy. She's laughing. We know Courtney loves my roosters. This is hysterical. Hold on. Back in Black, she's laughing. She goes over, check out the lipstick on his collar. Lipstick on his collar. This is a rooster. This is not a collar. Why would Courtney just say lipstick on collar? Remember, Gia, these are things, I'm writing this down, lipstick on collar. These are things that should become parts of your treasure hunt when your daughter is delivering messages through me, Natalie, who is a messenger. It is about the finer details. It is about the simple things. It is about the nothingness that perhaps seems to be nothing at all. Lipstick on collar. Why? These are things that I've come to learn, that when I'm not thinking, which I'm not right now, I'm full soul right now, and yet I am available in my mind, obviously in my body as well. I'm not in a trance. I'm not out there in some foreign, space and place in a dreamlike state. I'm aware of my flock all around me, and yet I do become aware of such things as speaking out loud, lipstick on collar. That's Courtney. This is something, and I have a feeling that lipstick on collar has something to do with Ed. We also know, Eddie, that Courtney loves pulling in, just like Jesus was talking about pulling you over waters. Well, Courtney loves to pull in Ed to all these messages because she loves the both of you. She loves the both of you. I'm going to go ahead and get going here. I hope this message makes sense to you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Love you.